You are live.
We're live.
Frequency Friday. We're live. Welcome.
Woohoo!
Yay! I was going to get up and dance. That's what I was going to do before we need to get up and dance. Woo!
Yeah.
Get the frequency up. Oh, well, welcome everybody. I'm Nancy V, and over there is Roseanne G. Yeah, and we're coming to you for Frequency Friday to help uplift you and keep you high vibe for the rest of your week. How's that sound?
Yeah. Start the weekend with a high vibe.
Start the weekend with a high vibe. Yeah. And just so you know, even if you're surrounded by smoke, you can still be high vibe. You don't have to let your current situation or your current reality or what's going on in your environment to affect your vibration. You can still be real about it, authentic about it, be an acceptance of it, but you don't have to let it drag you down. So, but that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today?
The frequency of freedom.
Roseanne, the frequency of freedom. Cool.
Yeah.
And what are we sharing about that? What did that strike for you, Roseanne?
Well, I Googled it because I was kind of curious. I've heard the term frequency of freedom, and I was like, I really wonder what that actually is. So I Googled it and I found an interesting article that was written in 2016, and it's spot on for what we're still going through right now. So it's crazy how she talks about how for centuries humanity's been fighting for freedom on a road paved with blood, and we still fail to be free. So we fail to be free by fighting a system of control, and freedom fighter is a contradiction in terms. So freedom exists. I'm just going to read a little bit of this, and then I'll pause and see how you feel about this. So freedom exists by ceasing to cooperate with a control system and by removing ourselves from it. If you tell a fox to leave a steel trap, and it serves only to clamp down harder, separating flesh from bone. So what they're saying is, like, you're just fighting. You're constantly fighting. You're still clamping down on that. You're not. Once you release yourself and surrender to it, then you become free because you're not fighting against it. And in here, she also says, like, to fight using tools that separate, like politics, religion, race, social class, enforces the great divide that keeps us locked and loaded in the system. So fighting justifies more control, and when you fight, you become that. And the history just keeps repeating itself. Boy, that's so true, because in 2016 she wrote this, and we're still in the great divide. There's like so much division going on. You want me to keep reading? You want to keep reading it?
No, I wanted to comment on that, because what it's saying to me is that we still live in a society, a culture that really feels that freedom is something outside of yourself that you get by fighting for it. And so that is something that, obviously, even from this article, it has been going on for, centuries, right? Centuries. What we're not getting as a culture is that freedom comes from within. That your frequency, how you become free, is by aligning yourself to the frequency of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only do that. Yeah, you can only do that from inside.
Yeah. Yeah, it says our vibrational nature comes from within, just like you said. energy and motion is emotion, and our emotions manifest form. Energy manifests matter. By shifting emotions, we shift our reality. Low frequency manifests anger, aggression, desire for control, a state of disharmony, while the higher vibrations manifest joy and love and desire for peace and a state of harmony. So it's like the lower vibration, you're in that, what do I want, a cesspool. I don't know why I just want the cesspool of just this volatile mess.
Right.
But when you go within and you find peace within yourself and alignment and center yourself, then you can give off the vibration of love and happiness and peace. And it's just like a smile is contagious. That vibration is picked up and carried on. It's like paying it forward when you compliment somebody, and then later on in the day they'll feel so good they compliment somebody, and it just like, that's how it spreads. But if you're, like the riots and all these people are getting together and they're like on the same vibrational pathway, and they keep getting more people on that link, that vibration, and they're riding that negative, current, and destroying everything. And I was just telling Nancy a few minutes ago, I really feel that there's such a discord in these people that are fighting, and they're pushing against what they don't want, and they're creating more of what they don't want. They're not
Right.
They're not aligning with who they are in the peace within themselves, and they're just creating more of that turmoil, because like attracts like, and you're getting back what you're putting out. So
Yeah.
that's the part of us that we're all trying to shift, like you said, tilt the world into the freedom frequency and the love frequency. It's the same frequency.
Yeah, it's probably higher than the frequency of love. Like I'm going to share my screen for a moment.
Going to do some graphs, some structure.
Yeah. So here is a frequency graph, and you can see that the lower vibration, these are all emotions, and the lower vibrational emotions have a measurable vibration, and these are the measurable vibrations. And you can see that most of humanity that is fighting is stuck in this anger, desire, pride area. And it just means that they are just getting by. Life is just a situation where they're just getting by. But most of us are tired, right? In our reality right now, we are so freaking tired of just getting by. We want to expand and go and move into the flow. But the only way we can go into the flow is to raise our vibration to courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, and from there, the higher vibrations, when we're going into a more of a conscious state, we're in love, joy, peace, enlightenment. But we're not going to get there until it doesn't have to be we all billions of people on this planet. If 1% of the people on this planet made it a daily commitment or a daily practice to feel into the vibrations of love, joy, peace, those higher vibrations, we could raise the whole vibration of the entire planet by just 1% of us doing that. And so part of being in the we're like going all out here. Part of Frequency Fridays is to help educate everybody. Like, you can have a high vibration. You can do it. You can be in your current reality, and you can shift it into a higher vibration, and then the shifting of it will help you get out of your current state of reality and up level. So it's like, if you want to get out of this fighting, if we as a culture want to get out of fighting each other, we're going to have to come to a level of at least courage and neutrality. If we want to if most of the people on the planet want to stop just living and getting by, they're going to have to do something courageous. They're going to have to take a risk. They're going to have to move up into neutrality, where they at least are willing to accept differences of opinions and not fight over it. And that's the only way that we're going to all shift.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when that became okay. Well, it's not really okay, but how is it okay for someone to tell you how to feel, how to act, how, your opinion, all those things, when it's okay for one side, like one person, to have all of their convictions all just like set in stone, but you bump up against them and then it's like, why can't we all just get along and agree to disagree? It just seems so simple to me. Everybody is free to have their opinion and their, and the things that they like. It's like, we all have, different color eyes and different hair, and we're all unique. We're all unique individuals.
I think it's the lie. It's a lie. It's the lie. Not only does our ego lie to us and create that separatism between other people, but people who are in places of power feed on that. It's controlling.
It's a control.
It's a control thing when people can encourage people to feed into the lie. And it's been going on, for centuries. It's been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries. And it just seems like that's part of what 2020 is about, right? That's part of why we're in such a freaking crazy mess right now with this year, is that there is a tilting of power where enough more and more people are going, no, we're not going to buy into those lies anymore. We're not even going to listen to our ego anymore, because we know that our ego is a lie. We know that anything that is creating a negative emotion in our body is actually part of the ego that is lying to us, because we are supposed to be blissful in our natural state.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're waking up. So that's what 2020 is about. It's about waking up. And the more that we the more people who wake up, the better for the planet, for humanity as a whole,
Yeah. And it's strange that you see people either having like the best year of their life is 2020, and then some are like, it's the worst. And you just, you think that mindset, you're attracting more and more of what you're focusing on. And that's really hard to just like disregard your reality when the whole world is like in chaos. But I try to stay in my own bubble, and that's, some people might say that's selfish, or I have my head in the sand, but you know what? It's necessary for me to be able to keep my vibration at a I like to say a high, but it drops down. You can even ask Jeremy. I get back into that ego thing, and that's a major goal. That's life goals right there, is just to be able to just be on the up and up all the time. But it does. Reality smacks you in the face, and it's like, wow, you got to kind of deal with some things. But it is a choice to look at it either positively or negative. And if you're focusing on the end of this year is just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, which it possibly could, but I choose to look at it as like, this is getting, everything we get through is one step towards better, is one step towards more positive. It's one step towards the outcome of the big picture of it's going to be better. There's just so much going on.
Yes, there
and
is.
You almost feel guilty sometimes for being high vibe and happy, I try not to like,
That's a lie.
that's a lie. That's a
Lie.
lie. But I do, it's just like my human nature. If somebody is going through something, then I will feel, I will feel guilty about posting something or posting my excitement or something. If I feel somebody else's energy is low and they're having a struggle or something, then I feel, wow, but I have to stay in my power
Yeah,
to inspire other people and to know that it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be, stuck in that vibration, and go
yeah,
through what you're going through and allow yourself to feel your emotions, but don't stay there and
yeah.
keep attracting more and more of the same. So
Yeah, I totally get, I totally understand where you're coming from that, but I also think like and I don't know if you're the same way, but like for me personally, I spent so, I have spent so much of my life accommodating other people's low vibration.
yes,
And that does
yes,
not serve, that doesn't
mm-mm,
serve that person. I mean, it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me at all,
um,
but it doesn't serve that person to, for us, for humanity, for whoever, to
yeah,
um I
evolve.
want to say, to comfort or coddle them in their excuses, in their limitations, in their low vibration.
Yeah,
It makes it worse, because that low vibration is there. They are basically just sitting in a cesspool of themselves. And when
yeah,
we move into the cesspool with them, we're getting all dirty with them, and that's not our natural state.
yeah,
Our natural state as human beings, or as spiritual human beings, um, that are in these physical meat suits, as what they call them, is really to be in a state of pure joy, love, and bliss. And so
yeah,
we can put our toes in the cesspool. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I mean, I'm generally a happy person, and I used to always meet people where they were at.
yeah,
It's fine to meet people where they're at, but it's like, don't jump in with them.
yeah,
Be on the shore, have the lifeline, right? Have the life preserver, and just throw it out there and just say, hey, you don't have
yeah,
to stay you don't have to stay in that low vibration if you don't want to. Whenever you're ready to get out, I am here to help you. And I think
yeah,
one of the lovely things, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, you can just like tell me to shut up. One of the I think one of the most awesome lessons that I got from Nicole Gibson, who runs the Love Out Loud movement, is that we get to love people even when they're in their shit.
yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
I, I used to turn away from people when they're in their
yeah,
shit, because I didn't know how to handle it without getting into the shit with them. But now I know,
exactly.
I just get to sit on the shore. I can put my toes in the water with them. I can be witness to them. I can see them. I can be empathetic with them, and say and share with them. Yeah, I see that you're in the shit right now. I'm not going in the shit with you. I'm going to stay out here. Here's a life preserver. If you want it, it's here for you because I love you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. I would do that too. I would avoid confrontation, or I would avoid somebody that I knew was just negative all the time and just like low vibe. And I'd be like, oh, do whatever I can instead of just showing up as who I am and letting it bounce off me. That's what I've learned recently, with all the vibration and stuff we've been doing, is now I can go to work, and, you know, all the people that I come in contact, and the phone calls and the negative vibes, I don't bring all that home. Before, I was like a sponge. I would just bring it home.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bring every bit of it home, and it was just like take me 2 or 3 days to get it all out of my system. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not even mine to own. I get to choose how I feel. But when you're surrounded like that, it's really radical self-responsibility and awareness of what you're taking in, because your momentum can just pick up in 68 seconds?
Yeah. It takes 68 seconds to program a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
And then
reprogram.
and then you call somebody on the phone, and then you start them on the negative, and then they talk to somebody else. And same thing with positive. You can
Yeah,
spread it both ways. So
yeah, yeah. 17 seconds. 17 seconds is how long it takes a negative thought to start infiltrating your vibration. And so to counteract that, you need to do 68 seconds of a positive.
68 of a positive. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then if you want to keep reprogramming that positive, it's a 68 seconds. It's just, that's how you reprogram it, 68 seconds, 68 seconds, 68 seconds. So like when I was trying to when I was working to reprogram my brain, I would walk and I'd have a timer set for 68 seconds and I would repeat an affirmation or a new belief for, while I was walking for 68 seconds, and then go into the next one and do another one or whatever. But that's how I reprogrammed a lot of my negative thinking. Yeah.
And you can do it when you're intentional about it. You can do it very quickly. Like one time I was going down, I felt myself in that negative space. And actually I should do this more now that I just remembered this. But I was writing appreciation, and I just started writing. It's like gratitude, but I like to say appreciation, because it's appreciating something is like the whole of it, and the appreciation of it being, and gratitude is like kind of on the other end of that, and just being grateful for something that you don't have anymore, and you have resistance. There's still resistance in the gratitude, but you're overcoming it. So I like to say the appreciation of it. But I was appreciating bananas, of all things. I appreciated bananas for well over 68 seconds. I was like, I love bananas. I love what they do for me. I love the people that pick them. I love the place they grow. And I just went on and on about bananas. And I wrote 2 pages about a banana. And, there's a lot of stuff and just get your mind out of, out of the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pool. Yeah. Appreciation is actually a higher vibration than gratitude. So it's fine. We call them appreciation rants. So it's fine to rant out loud or on your page in your journal about what you appreciate, because that's one of the things, like when we're looking to raise a vibration. So if we're looking to embody the vibration of freedom, we have to be in appreciation of where we're at today, and able to able to really appreciate, and then appreciate what freedom is. So it goes both ways. You have to be appreciative of what you think freedom is, because we all have our own idea or concept of what freedom is for us, right? Yeah. But we also, to really appreciate freedom, we have to appreciate where we're coming from, where we're at right now, if we're feeling not free. But really, it's just like we get to choose. We get to choose how we feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know Jeremy was making some comments, and he said he had a question. He's like, he said, like, well, how do you raise your vibration?
You write out pages of how much you love bananas.
I mean, for me, Jeremy, if you guys want to do like a freedom rant. Like for me, it's just closing your eyes, taking a couple deep breaths in, deep breaths out, and then thinking in your head, what do you see as freedom? Get an image, see freedom. What would make you feel free? See yourself in your freedom, and then hold on to that image and just freaking magnify it, make it bigger and bigger, and just see it pop into your imagination until you start to feel freedom in your cells. and use that image to send that freedom frequency into your body, because that's the embodiment part. We have to get it into our bodies, into our cells, to counteract any of the negative emotion that's not freedom, right? That's slave. So say it's a slave code that we have, we need to exchange those slave codes with the freedom codes. And part of doing that is just to sit in a bath of freedom. What does freaking freedom? What does it look like? Write it out and then read it to yourself, or just close your eyes and meditate on freedom. Just say freedom, 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 and get that feeling of freedom into you. And that's how you embody it. That's how you raise your vibration to it. Not any different than, anything else that we do. I guess to raise our vibration. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jeremy says, I am not writing nothing out.
No.
And then he says, I can close my eyes. He said he can close his eyes and do that.
Awesome.
So like for you, Jeremy, I can see you closing your eyes and seeing yourself like driving your RV down the road and waving to your lady in the shotgun seat, right?
That's freedom. Yeah.
That's freedom. And then just feel it, breathe it in. So every cell of your body is vibrating to that freedom frequency. And the more you do that, the more you're building inside your body freedom. And then it gets to be physically expressed, right? The more it's internal, then we get to turn it into that physical expression.
Yeah. That we also, all day long, when he's at work and I'm at work, and our messages, our text messages are always, how's the lake today? Oh, I'm meditating up by the RV, and we just like do this whole thing all day long. We're just like role playing. Yeah, we're not at work. We're at the lake. He's down fishing, and he's got chaka, and all of our emojis are little boats or swimmers or meditators and water and all this stuff. And, instead of, complaining about, whatever it is, the aches and pains or the other employees, we're not, we don't talk like that anymore. We don't like actually even say what our day is. We are always talking into our reality, what freedom is. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Every time I'll catch myself. I catch myself though, and I like start to write out something. I was like, I back it out, and I was like, the lake is great today. I journaled so much. I love sitting in the sunshine, just journaling, and
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that because I came home and just. It's not like I had it's not like I had a bad day, but I volunteered at our thrift store, and it's like there's always a story. There's always a story with somebody else's personality. It's like, you know what? I mean, it's not that I don't love on these people, but I could love on them a little bit more, and not even have to tell the stories.
Yeah. And I've been saying that now too. I wake up. I wake up when I want to, I wake up when I choose to, not when I have to. And then we say, oh yeah, I got to get up because I promised I'd volunteer at the senior living community today, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just out, volunteering and doing this stuff, when he's doing his road stuff. So
yeah, it's so cool. I mean, I am manifesting so many things by working at that thrift store. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Everything that I want is coming into me. So I love it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how do we feel? Do you feel complete? Is there anything about freedom? You do? Is there anything else about freedom or that article that you wanted to share? That's
just the last little bit says freedom comes not with a closed mind, but with an open heart. Freedom feels a love for humanity as a whole, recognizing that good and bad are constructs of the mind. When we cease to hate, cease to fight in war, we cease to serve the control system. Freedom happens when we open the trap and walk away. And together, regardless of creed, color, gender, put our differences aside and unite. We shift the frequency of fighting to the frequency of liberation. we shift from freedom fighters to freedom lovers. Yeah.
Yay!
I liked that article. That was pretty awesome.
Cool. Can you share it to the group in the comments below this broadcast, and then other people can read it as well.
Yeah, I'll do that after we get off, because I have no clue how to do that when we're talking.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll go back in and I'll go back in and I'll put the author and the title in there.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this helped you in your vibration raising, and everybody go out and have a real awesome weekend. Think about freedom, what freedom means to you, and feel into it, make yourself, have yourself, not create the vibration of it for yourself, because once you do that in your now, it will start to seep into your next, your future.
Yeah. And if you don't have like anything positive to say or any stories that are positive from your day, that's okay. But just don't keep repeating the same negative ones. Don't, because you know how it made you feel. And so you're telling somebody else that, and then that's how they feel. And so you're just continuing that. And it's okay to do that and bust it out with a friend, but then just like keep going and going and going.
Here is my homework on that. So before you go to sleep tonight, if just write out your appreciations or your gratitude for your day. And if there was a part of your day that totally sucked, then instead of writing out that it sucked, write out how you wanted it to go, and have appreciation for how you wanted it to go. It has that practice for me, doing that before I go to bed, like bookending my day, has made such a huge difference for how I sleep and how I wake up in the morning. So try it and see how that works for you guys. It'd be awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. All right.
That's a wrap.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.